Hello and welcome to Fun with Floral Art. I'm Laura and today I'm going to show you how to make a gift box, a fresh flower gift box. Now these are the kind of things that you would see, you'd get them from a florist, but you also tend to see them in supermarkets, petrol stations, that kind of thing where you can just grab a gift box. Of course, the ones that you might find in a florist would be very nice, but the ones that you tend to see in the supermarket or the petrol station don't really have a lot of substance to them. So let's do a bit better than that today. So I've got my flat pack box. So it's a nice bright orange. So you can see I'm going to make a nice bright arrangement today. So I'll fold it up. Bottom bit goes in and the sides fold down. So the larger your box, the more material that you will need. Even a small box will give you a really nice arrangement as well. So I've got some cellophane here because the box of course is not waterproof. So I want to line the box first of all with the cellophane, and that also becomes part of the arrangement. So the cellophane is rectangular and the box is square, so I need to make the cellophane square as well. So to do that I'll just fold up the corner there and cut along here. I could even use those two pieces as well, but I'll use the two squares. So I've got the two pieces of cello here. So I'll make them diagonal to each other, and then that will give me some nice corners for the box when they're in. So I've got my floral foam soaked. It's nice and heavy, very heavy actually, and I've got a smaller piece just to raise it up. So I'll put the foam in the centre and fold up the cello around it, and that can now go into the box. So you need a decent sized piece of foam for a box this size. We've got quite a bit of material to put in there. So we're ready to start with that. So I've got my turntable. Just dry that off a bit. So we're ready to go there. So you can see that I'm going to do some nice bright colours with this today. I've got these lovely roses that are like a pink and orange as well, and some nice bright yellow chrysanthemums. The foliage is easy enough to get at any time of the year. I've got 3 different kinds of foliage, including this one, which also has a little flower on it. So it's a bit of a bonus if you can find some foliage that also has flowers or berries, because it's almost like adding 2 elements. And I've got some of this sort of yellow tinged, which I think matches well with the flowers. And I've also got some of this bushy foliage, and I've also got some white roses. So that should give me a nice colour pop, this. So I'll start off with the foliage. So the reason that we start with the foliage is it gives us a good basis for our arrangement. It establishes the shape, but also if you added the flowers first, they get damaged as you try and insert the foliage. So I'll start off with the foliage. So as far as our height goes, we need it to be about 1 1/4 times the height of the container. So I'll put in my central piece of foliage there. So now nothing will go higher than that. So that's the start of our arrangement. So from now I'll add pieces around that. So the next piece that I'm going to put in, I won't put in straight up like that because I'm not looking to sort of make a little forest here. So I'll put the next piece in at an angle like that, lower down than this one. So already we've established that sort of downward shape there. So every time you cut, you give it a nice diagonal cut because it's much easier to insert then into the foam. We don't need the lower leaves so much because it just gets too bulky down lower, and then you'll find that you won't be able to find a spot. With a branch like this, I can get 2 pieces out of it if I cut it just above that leaf. So I've got this piece and I've also got that piece ready to put straight in. You need a nice bushy foliage to fill it up. I'll use a bit of this one now. It's got a much larger leaf, so there's a bit of a variety there in textures, and it also has the little sort of flowers on a tendril. So that will fill this in no time. Can get 2 out of this piece. Any kind of foliage will do for this. It's already looking quite nice and full. I might use a little bit of the yellow tinged foliage just for a bit of variety and start to introduce a little bit of colour. So you can see I'm using a sort of a warm colour scheme with this. And this one has quite a different texture to the other foliage as well. The turntable comes in very handy. How much would you expect to pay for one of these at a supermarket? I think they're generally around the sort of $30 or $40 mark. More towards the centre. So that's pretty full now with the foliage. So I might start to add a few of the flowers. So the roses are going to be my main flower. So when you buy a bunch of roses, they're generally around about the same size. I can't see a lot of difference in these. This one here might be about the biggest one, I think. Got a few thorns, but not too bad. So I need one for the centre position. So once I start adding my flowers, I need the lower leaves. These will need to stand up a bit higher than the foliage because this is what we want to see. So there's the first one. second one. Again, at a bit of an angle, not just straight up. So you can definitely see the roses above the foliage. We need them all to have a nice drink while they're in there, so the foam has been well soaked. Don't feel obliged to use all of the flowers that you have. One more over this side. Put some of the chrysanthemums in now. It's quite nice and bushy. So from one stem, I've got half a dozen flowers. It's got quite a big stem, so I'll need a nice straight cut. So immediately that gives a big burst of colour. Probably you'll need about 3 stems of this. That fills the gaps between the roses. There's only 4 stems in this bunch anyway. So it's looking very full now. Might use some more of the roses down a bit lower. And these should open out a bit more as well. One more space around here, and that will be the last of the roses. That's very full now. I may just add some of the smaller white roses, and that will give a bit of a pop. White is always nice and fresh. You want to make sure that you can't see any of the foam. Some of the roses have got a couple of flowers on each stem, so that's good value. You always need to give roses a fresh cut. Probably won't use all of them, but just to give that, once you put white in, it really makes the other colours jump as well. So I think we'll do with another white around there, just for a bit of colour balance. That one's a bit small, that could go around here. This This is the longest one, so I could put that more towards the centre. And spread them out a little bit. Well, I think that's pretty full now. So that's the floral gift basket with the cello. Some nice bright colours happening there. And that would make a lovely gift for anybody. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching.